So I've been putting some time into studying who is this alt-right? Who are these neo-Nazis? Who are these MAGA people who voted for Trump twice, who go to his rallies, who sieged the Capitol, who marched in Charlottesville? Who are these people? Who are these people that are getting caught up in this QAnon conspiracy theory cult? Because it's really more of a cult than a political kind of ideology. And what I've found out is that contrary to popular belief that a lot of these folks are poor, lower class people who are struggling because they see the American dream slipping away from them, old-fashioned racists, that a lot of these folks are middle class and upper class. Think about it. Think about who was arrested in connection with the failed coup attempt on the Capitol. Retired firefighters, police officers, retired military, and then, of course, active military and firefighters. These folks have middle class jobs with pensions and a decent style of life. And then there were tons of business owners, like small business owners. This one owned a gym, that one owned a furniture company. There was a lady that flew into the Capitol for the insurgency on her private jet with some of her friends. Another guy was the son of a judge in New York, a Jewish judge, nonetheless, attending this Nazi rally. Very, very revealing, right? So this is not just an issue of lower class being deceived. And that's the other piece of it. We're often told that a lot of MAGA people are uneducated. And it is true that the polling shows that people without a college education were much more likely to vote for Trump. But what we're finding with the QAnon movement and the whole MAGA neo-Nazi thing, the white nationalist thing, is that many of these folks are educated. Some were former Obama voters, a lot of boomers, who were, touchy-feely, summer of love types. And then, this is a thing that's really tripping me out, a lot of people in the holistic health movement are getting sucked into the QAnon vibe, right? Yoga practitioners and, herbalists, and I even know some personally. And this really, really distresses me. Because I understand, we were raised to read between the lines, to understand conspiracies, to look at the side of life that's not reflected in the mainstream media. But to get sucked into the point where we're believing things with no evidence, in fact, if you look, the evidence points to the contrary, to get sucked into wild theories that turn out not to be true, and then you revise it and make a story so that you can continue to believe. For example, the QAnon people thought that the inauguration day would be a day of reckoning, that Joe Biden would be arrested and all of these Democrats would be arrested and Trump would stay in power. When that didn't happen, they were disappointed for a few days, and then they made up another story, that maybe Biden isn't really the president, and all these things. And the point is not so much the specific stories. The point is who these folks are and what will it take to bring them back to reality, right? And I really want to put a plea out to my friends in the holistic well-being, alternative medicine, herbalists, yogis, meditation teachers, and all my friends in that community that, please come back to the light. Do some prayer and meditation on this. And I'm making a lot of it, but this is actually a really serious issue because this really is more of a cult than a political following. So the question becomes, how do we bring people back to reality? What are the tools that we can offer? Families that are being torn apart by people getting caught up in these conspiracy theories, this frame of mind, which for those of us in the holistic wellness community really is counter to everything we believe if you think about it, because it is fear-based. Regardless what you think of vaccines, regardless what you think, of the CIA, the FBI, big pharma, the bottom line is this is a fear-based reality. It's a hate-based reality. And I don't care what you disguise it as, dress it up as, or what excuses you make for it. the QAnon movement, MAGA, alt-right, white supremacy, Proud Boys. I don't care if they have, the Rainbow Coalition fronting them off. A fascist is a fascist by any other name. I'm Dominique DiPrima, and that's my take.